Good afternoon, this is Colton with Bill Brothers Roofing and Solar, doing a digital roof and solar inspection here out in La Mesa for a potential new buyer of this property here. It's a single family home that looks to be operated as a residential assisted living facility, and we want to inspect the roof to outline the current conditions, the recommended actions, and any sensitive areas. We like to start underneath the eaves here where we can see the wood condition. We have a termite inspector here right now kind of outlining any termite damage, but you can kind of see how it gets marked right here where a rafter has termite damage and it's kind of hollowed, not structurally safe anymore, and needs to be replaced. So then moving on to the roof right here, we have an architectural asphalt shingle roof that has been replaced within the last 5 years in sections. There's a couple sections that haven't been replaced, and with this roof they didn't install any starter shingle. Basically it's an adhesion property and aspect of a roof where it basically adheres to the starting shingle, so that way you don't have issues like this where the shingle kind of comes up. You can see that the integrity here, just with heavy wind and wind-driven rain, can damage the edge of the roof. And so that's consistent with the whole edge of the roof around the property. And then there's a leased solar system on here from Tesla. And so, typically the leasing company is supposed to remove and reinstall the system if there's roof work that's needed. We can see our electrical risers right here where there's no proper flashing, no metal flashing, and so there's a bunch of rotted wood underneath that. This architectural asphalt shingle is in pretty good shape. You can kind of see on this section where there's a little bit of granule loss and fiberglass showing through around the edge of the shingle. Valleys are a little bit of a not recommended action where they're woven. Typically we like to see a California valley where the bigger roof plane overlaps onto the smaller one and you have a nice line. So we have a woven valley here. We have a little bit of shingle stretching that was done. As you can see, the stretching of the shingle that was done. And then the stagger's a little off. We like to see closer to 4 inches, and we have closer to 6 to 8 on this one. So, I would say the workmanship and install was a little bit less than ideal. We do have some granule loss in this section right here. And then we can see where kind of the corners were cut on this one. They only replaced kind of exactly only what was necessary. So you can see how they tried to splice in with the old 3-tab roof. This is the 3-tab asphalt shingle roof with heavy granule loss, bunch of shingles missing, and you can't really splice into an old roof because they're so brittle that they end up breaking. And look at all these exposed nails, easy ways for water to get in, right? So all throughout here. And it just is alarming when you have the whole roof done and then you just don't do a little section like this. So they replaced most of this, a couple satellite dishes on the roof that we'd like to move to the eave, and then a big solar system here, and then additions that was done in the house in the back. But then you can see the really old shingle right here. So a bunch of granule loss and a roof that's ended at the end of its life expectancy. And then it's softer on this section right here, so we concern ourselves with damaged wood. Shingle integrity is kind of coming up, right? And then we can see exposed nails right to the attic, and then kind of the shingles just flapping around here on the roof. So you can just kind of see the job that was done. I mean, there's no ridge caps here, and they just used your standard shingle that goes on the roof plane on the ridge. So they were just kind of throwing stuff up here. The stagger in the line is a little bit wavy, and then and they already pulled this solar up to replace that section over there. Maybe they left these panels right here and then just didn't do this section, and then just another small little roof plan that wasn't done as well. So material itself isn't that old, but yeah, I would say in this situation that it was kind of where can we cut cost on price, and this is evident kind of the cheapest guy's work. So yeah, we definitely need to replace the sections that have the granule loss, the heavy sections right here, remove part of the solar, this section right here, and then in a perfect world the whole roof would get replaced just because you're concerned with the workmanship of it. But we can outline some options, and we'll outline the repair works that's necessary. So we'll get this in a proposal and documented report, get this over to the realtor. Thank you.